to do is me understanding their entire situation, some of the challenges that we're talking about today, and where are they making their mistakes. And the reason that I really want to also do this is not just to provide the support, the motivation, and the tools, but also because, you know, I see a lot of women on the verge of a breakdown because they're just trying to do way too much. And what saddens me is that they're devaluing themselves in the process. They're undercutting their rates because they're desperate for clients, and they don't even realize that in doing all this, they're actually hindering themselves to a point, and they're sending out a strong message to their clients in their marketing that I am not worth it. Now, I believe everybody's worth it, because I said today when we started this segment, we all have a divine right to abundance. So it really bothers me when I see a woman not only devaluing themselves in terms of their time and their pricing and their rates, but also in the fact that they're making themselves crazy. And where is that going to lead?
It's not going to go anywhere good.
It's going to lead to probably serious illness, which a lot of women, successful women, wind up getting very, very ill, and they don't have outlets to accommodate that because there's no funding for major illnesses.
It's that balance thing again. You got to manage
it's that balance
stress.
thing again. And I think that a lot of this could be combated with the word no, and realizing that you are a value person. I mean, that's why you have a service or a product that you want to offer the world anyway. So you have value. And, you know, men don't have a problem saying, you know, tonight I'm going out with the boys, or I'm playing golf, or we're going to take a vacation. But women do, because women overanalyze, and they say, well, we can't do it, darling, because, you know, I've got the kids and the recitals and the soccer and this and that. Where is the me in here? And part of the me is the business, right? The me is the business for you, so that you, I mean, most people who start a business do it because they want a better life. And that's what I would like to see them have, rather than, you know, diminishing themselves and winding up in serious debt or with really bad illness that the government's not going to cover or provide any funding for.
That's not what people get into business for, Jeanette. So.
Right. So that's what the purpose of the segment is to point out some of the things that go wrong, and to see how we can make it right.
And I'm sure there's women out there that maybe they're feeling that some of that is wrong, and you know what, a great first step would be to give you a call. And
yes, my number is 905-882-6893 extension 1, or you can also again check out my website www.yourmarketingmagnet.com. And again, to the first person who calls in, we're on till 2:00.
Do they have to be a woman?
They don't, but I mean, today's
Women's Day. Come on, women. Some
woman, or, you know, I'll be more than happy to give you the free half-hour consult to assess your needs, and that's worth $150. And also, while they're on my site, www.yourmarketingmagnet.com, I have free tools for them to download. One is a book called 67 Plus Ways to Promote Yourself and Make Money Today. And with that is a weekly blog series.
Are these free?
All free.
Unbelievable.
And weekly blog series, all free, with the book once you sign up. And every time we talk about a different aspect of marketing, these are all free tools.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you, Hugh.
Now, this has been your
Marketing Magnet.
And
we'll be back in about a month's time.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jeanette.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to take a little break here. Come back with Craig Ballard in a couple of minutes. Talk sports now.
Yeah, guy time.
Yeah. Are you watching the playoffs, Jeanette?
For what? Hockey?
Okay.
Hockey playoffs. Okay.
We'll be right back. Liquid Lunch continues on a Monday here on thatchannel.com.
On iTunes and Napster. And this song was written about a restaurant in Brighton back in the UK that I had an interesting encounter with, and it's called Soul Mama.
Promises the world by the heel of your hot shoes. Told us we get something, we're part of the team too. Well, have a bowl of soul food, I'm finding it hard to chew. Something just don't taste right, can't work it out tonight. Well, man, we're gonna give you such a good show. filling up with anger. Can't get these out my head. All the things we did for you, and not a word of thanks was said. So I've spoken to the good Lord, asked him what I should do. He said, devil's gonna get you and your stinking soul food. So man, we're gonna give you such a good show. 'Cause baby, we got no place. We got no place to go. You got soul mama, but it ain't in the round place. Did you lose a ball?
Okay, here we are coming back on Liquid Lunch. We got Craig Ballard here, who is. I asked you that. Well, this was the first question, of course, anybody in Toronto would ask Craig.
Yes.
Is, are you related to Harold Ballard?
No, my grandfather's name, he passed away 2 Februaries ago. He was a really big deal in my life. And his name was Harold Ballard. And he did meet the Harold Ballard that you're referring to many, many times. Had quite different stories to tell than the ones that we've all heard about Harold Ballard. Speaks about a very generous, a very kind, but their interactions were always 2 thumbs way up. There was a lot made in the media. There are a lot of articles about things along the lines of, like, will the real Harold Ballard please stand up, and articles about the 2 of them and how one is mistaken for the other.
Really?
Well, yeah, things along that line, yeah. And so my opinion of Harold Ballard is based on my grandfather's stories, and so I'm in the minority in this city, whereas I like Harold Ballard.
Well, he was a real character.
Big time. Yeah.
I remember when he went to jail. Do you remember that? And he was, he had a smile on his face. He went to jail, and they was telling everybody that he was getting steaks 3 times a day.
If I remember the story correctly, and you have to
That's
correct
the
me
way to
here,
live if you're going to live in jail.
I think he even had a choice. I think he could have kowtowed to the prosecutor, and that's exactly, and avoided that. But that just wasn't him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Definitely an icon, so we have
Absolutely.
to look at upon him in that regard anyway, right? He's an accomplished man.
I don't think there's anybody that's going to agree with everything he did. Like I said, I'm sitting here saying I'm in the minority, where I was actually a fan. But am I sitting here saying that this guy was 2 thumbs up, for the city at all times and really represented us well? Absolutely not. We know that.
Well, I wonder
Nobody's
if
perfect.
We're going to get into the hockey
Sure.
talk here, I think, and of course, Toronto Maple Leafs didn't make it, and I'm wondering if one of the reasons, if Toronto Maple Leafs, of course, have had, they've had a horrible string since 1967, and by the way, I don't know if you knew this, Craig, but my cousin was actually the captain of the Leafs when they won.
I did not know that at all. Is that right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess you got some pretty good seats.
I didn't know
Well,
that
it
at all.
was George Armstrong. He's like,
Wow.
I don't know, not that.
I didn't know you related to him at all. You're breaking news here, brother.
Yeah. Well, I just thought I'd share that since we're talking about
absolutely.
hockey and the Leafs and stuff. But they've had a real bad run of it since then. And I think maybe there's a lot of people that still kind of blame Harold Ballard for a lot of that.
And if not just Harold Ballard, certainly that regime, and certainly the idea that not just Harold Ballard, but that it's been management and ownership in particular that's been the issue. I think if you look back, historically speaking, I was having a conversation with my buddy the other day, and it just hit us like a ton of bricks. We were trying to think, when was the last time the Leafs had really a lockdown defense? If you think about building a championship team, what do the championship teams have in common? They have lockdown defenses. When's the last time any of us can, have equated that with this Toronto team? And the futility of the draft, if you really want to look at a historic level, the draft, you look at a team like Detroit. Detroit drafts marvelously. They've made the playoffs this year. You talked about the Leafs didn't make the playoffs. Detroit made the playoffs this year for the 19th year in a row. This is a team that's got their finger on the pulse with scouting and with drafting. They get the stars. The stars are, they're not going to be here forever, but who are we replenishing them with? And that's just, the Leafs have been missing the boat.
Well, yeah, you got to think long term.
Yes. And now that's what Brian Burke is doing now. And it is going to be a process.
Yeah.
It is going to be a process.
If they started it 40 years ago.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Exactly
they might have
right.
won a few Stanley Cups.